What's happening, everybody? Len with 715 Outdoors, and I'm here with Evan, and today we are starting our deer season, or at least the preparation for our deer season. There are those who say deer season is 365 days a year, and I agree with that. If you have property that you're managing, there's something to do every month. But we haven't been out here doing any work since the end of deer season. So here we are, and today is hinge cutting day. We're going to get as much done as we can. And as you know, hired Randy Vanderveem from Strategic Habitat, and his YouTube channel is Seymour Bucks, so go check him out. But I'm going to show you his plan, his map, and I'm going to show you where we're going to be working today. Okay, so here's the map. This is the cabin, this is the road, and every area highlighted in yellow has some degree of hinge cutting, like we have barriers running along the roads, which is great. But this is the area we're starting today, is between the cabin and the pipeline. So we're going to get to work on that today and see just how far we get. So here's the tools that we're using today. Got the Steel Farm Boss, and I got the Bauer Electric Harbor Freight for our small trees. I don't have a habitat hook or a forestry pole or whatever, so I'm going to bring the rake out, hoping that that will give us enough influence to pull down. I've got a couple of axes, I've got a 4-pound hammer, and I have 3 different size wedges to fell the tree. And of course, in the name of safety, we've got the helmet and ear protection as well. As we look at the map here, you can pretty much see we're right in the area that we want to hinge cut. There's a small ridge to our west and the road to our east and the pipeline directly to our south. So we are going to be cutting this area where we're standing right now. All right, so we're at our starting point here, and I'm making this my starting point because if you look right down this way, there's a main deer trail that comes right in front of me, right between me and Evan with the camera, and it goes right up to the ridge up that way. Now, if you bring the camera back down here, this is the area we are going to be cutting today, right here in front of me. And the reason is because I want the trail to lead into this, and this is something that I don't really see a whole lot of people who do hinge cutting talk about. How your hinge cutting should relate to existing trails and corridors of travel that deer have already established for generations maybe. So I'm going to start on this side of this trail, and I'm just going to start randomly dropping trees. As luck would have it, the trees on this trail are all kind of facing the way that I'm going to want them to drop anyway. So this is a great setup, and we're going to get started. Okay, so this is our starting tree right here, and it's right on this trail we were just talking about. I'm going to cut it at about chest height. I'm going to cut it 60 to 70% of the way through, and if necessary, use my wedges to make it fall that way toward the pipeline. So, ear protection. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. If you can kind of zoom in there, bud, I'm trying to get it just about 60 or 70% of the way. And now what I'm going to do is take my wedge and I'm going to hit it across and get it through here. All right, why don't you back up a little bit, pal? That way you can get the tree falling. Maybe back up by like the toolboxes or something. It's going, you hear it? It's going. This is what you want, a nice, slow, controlled fall. There she goes. Come on, baby. Come on. It's a tough one. I'm going to give it just a little bit deeper of a cut there and let her go the rest of the way on her own. This is exactly what we're looking for, right here. This is that, I believe it's called the Cambrian layer of the tree that we're trying to produce. Are you covering so this tree will not die. This tree is now going to lay here, create bedding cover, a way for the deer to walk through, as well as providing food in the winter. So, next tree. Well, I'm about an hour in, and it's already starting to look a little different. There's a couple of trees that I've cut through entirely too far, but that's just going to happen, like a birch tree. I cut a birch tree down, hoping it would fall on a couple others, which worked, but the big birch tree ain't going to make it. All right, well, I think I'm gonna call her a day for now. I'll be here. I got 2 weeks to get down here and get more done, but so I lost more trees than I would have liked to, but at the same time, some came down really nicely. So I would say maybe a fourth or a third of the trees that I cut broke off. I don't know if that's good or bad. Here's another thing that I want to talk about, and leave your comments down below. Starting to feel like I may have cut these just a little too high. For example, I can walk right under this one. I can walk right under this one. You know, so is that now at the same time, you know, boom, I got this big spot where it's almost like a wall of cover here, and of course plenty of food, plenty of browse, but you know, those are very, very high. You know, once we get back to here, you can see then I got a duck. I think that's more close to the ideal height that I want. So, but this area was prescribed for light hinge cutting. I believe I've opened up enough for now to satisfy, and I've got other key areas that I need to hit. So let's see. You can see behind me here, that's kind of where I started this morning and stuff. So yeah, all said, see, I think this right here, this is probably the height I want to be at. The height at which I want to be. Speak the Queen's English here. So this one I feel like is just too high. So, and it's kind of sucks to, you know, have lost a tree like this. You know, it started to come down great, and then it just kind of hit terminal velocity and came down hard. So it is what it is. You know, you can't unring that bell. So leave comments down below. Tell me how you think I did. Give your opinions. This is literally my first time hinge cutting. So I'm by no means an expert. I got a lot to learn. I've watched hours and hours of videos. I've talked to professional land managers like Randy Vanderveem about it, a couple of others. So, and one thing they all said is, hey, expect to lose trees. So I did, in spite of all my efforts. So it is what it is, man. So I've got 2 weeks left to get as much done as I can. So we're going to keep plugging along. I'll be down here for the next 2 weekends and hopefully get this all done. And I will bring you along for the progress. So I'm going to pause here. We're going to pack up. We'll go take a look at the food plot, see if the winter rye is starting to green up at all yet, because snow's been off for about a week. So see if anything's greening up just yet. I kind of doubt it, but let's go check it out. Well, we're just now approaching the food plots. We've just, I left all my trail cameras up all winter. I'm sure the batteries are long dead in them. So it'll be interesting to see what pictures we got since deer season. So stay tuned to the end of the video for deer cam, trail cam footage. And we'll share that. But we're just now making our way up to the food plots. I'm just kind of interested to see, it's winter wheat, cereal grains. If you saw the video of my planting up here, you know that I put in 200 pounds of winter wheat, winter rye, 100 pounds of buck forage oats, 15 pounds of crimson clover. Let me see. I think 25 pounds of tillage radishes, 15 pounds of crimson clover, and something else. But it really is starting to green up here, bucko. It really is starting. Look at this. All right, let's show you. So this last year, I invested in the Cuddyback Cuddylink cameras, and to be honest, not very impressed with the picture quality at all. So I'm gonna mess with the settings in the off season. I spent way too much money on them to just give up on them, and I'm sure there's no resale value to them. So, or at least not what I'd like. But I'll mess with the settings on them. I kept all the instructions and stuff, and so yeah, hopefully we can get better trail camera pictures this year, because to be honest, the trail cameras this year were not producing the pictures like they did the year before. So something's got to change. So I'm approaching a trail cam now. I'm gonna take her down and see what we got. All right, so here is a mock scrape that we have set up, and then the trail camera is just over here on this tree facing that. Now, it's facing a bit to the south, which is not ideal. I hoped I would have enough shade, but I didn't. Always face your trail cameras north. So I'm standing, I guess, on what would be the northwest corner of the land, and my neighbor has done some selective logging, and I don't know if you can really see through the woods over my head where on the field there's a pile of logs. But this is overdue by years. This is going to be great for us. That logging isn't 100 yards from our food plots. So this is great. You know, everyone wants timber. Everyone wants timber on their land. And they think that having all these standing oaks dropping acorns is going to attract a lot of deer. But really, that's only half the story. Because if the deer have no meaningful cover, they're not going to stay there. And, you know, some species of oaks only produce acorns every other year, every third year. So, way better off logging, opening up your canopy, letting some hardwood regeneration grow in your land, and attract more deer. This is good for everybody. Hey guys, sorry, I know I promised some footage from the trail cameras at the end of this video, but unfortunately, I don't have my my trail cam card reader, so maybe that'll have to be in the next video. But in the meantime, you can enjoy this buck, and I thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. We'll see you on the next one.